The story of the Sex Pistols has always been full of chaos, rebellion, and drama. And even after all these years, not much has changed. Recently, former guitarist Steve Jones reached out publicly to his old bandmate John Lydon with hopes of reconciliation. But Lydon's response was, well, very Johnny Rotten. In an interview earlier this month, John Lydon was asked about Steve Jones' offer to make peace. His answer was as blunt as ever. He can go fuck himself. Not after all that. Sorry, 3 strikes, you're out, mate. No, never. There was no hesitation, no soft words, just total rejection. Lydon went even further, criticizing his former bandmates for their decision to continue touring without him. The Sex Pistols are currently on tour with Frank Carter as their new frontman. But Lydon isn't impressed. He called it karaoke and said, "They belong on a cruise ship with that malarkey." For him, the band has lost its soul. Lydon also expressed sympathy for tribute bands who lost work because of this reunion. "They've put a lot of Pistols-type cover bands out of work," he said, adding sarcastically that the current Sex Pistols lineup had topped them in the cheese department. This brutal response comes after years of tension between the original members. The biggest break in their relationship happened during the legal battle over the 2021 TV series Pistol, which told the band's story. Lydon strongly opposed the show, calling the contract slave labor, but the court ruled against him. Since then, their relationship has been beyond repair. For Steve Jones, however, the reunion tour has been surprisingly smooth. In earlier interviews, he admitted that after the lawsuit, he didn't even bother asking Lydon to join. "We don't talk," Jones said. "The last time I spoke to him was 2008, but I wish him all the best. We had a great time when we were young, and it was life-changing for all of us." He also admitted he was nervous about how fans would react to a reunion without Lydon. But to his surprise, most fans have accepted the new lineup. The band started playing live again in 2024 with Frank Carter, performing full shows of Nevermind the Bollocks. Jones said, "You think you're going to get a negative thing, but there was no backlash whatsoever. Even the ones that came out of curiosity were into it after a couple of songs." For Steve, having Frank Carter brought new energy to the group. "He's 40, so he has all that energy, and us old farts can just jam at the back," Jones joked. He admitted that he was ready to quit touring, but the new setup made it fun again. Meanwhile, John Lydon continues his own path. While the Pistols tour without him, Lydon is busy with his spoken word shows across the UK and Ireland. His 2024 to 2025 tour, I Could Be Wrong, I Could Be Right, allows him to share stories, reflect on his career, and speak directly to his audience about his life with the Sex Pistols, Public Image Limited, and beyond. Even though Steve Jones may have hoped for some kind of peace, Lydon remains firm. In his own words, "I am the Pistols, and they're not." This bold statement shows how deeply Lydon believes that the true spirit of the Sex Pistols lives with him alone. As of today, the gap between John Lydon and his former bandmates seems wider than ever. While Steve Jones, Paul Cook, and Glenn Matlock enjoy their reunion tour, Lydon continues to reject any possibility of joining them again.